What have you been watching?
I don't think I've watched too much this week. I'm caught up on Andor.
Well, let's talk. I don't think since you started watching Andor that we've talked about it. So, like, what have you thought about it so far?
I mean, it's been good. It's a very like human side of the story of this guy who gets caught up in things and slowly he's becoming like a rebel leader. But like he just goes through some shit and he's a little bit squirrely. He's like a shoot first, ask questions later type of guy, which I liked. I like that quite a bit, and he's a bit of a rascal, and he's always
A rascal.
I don't know what to call him. That rascal. But yeah, if he gets like in a pinch and he's like, yeah, if I don't kill this guy, bite me in the ass, he just shoots him and just like moves on.
That rascal.
Yeah. He doesn't take chances like that. But yeah, no, I like the character, and I really like the way they've handled the Empire, because they've actually shown like the people side. It's not just a bunch of kind of faceless stormtroopers. You got a lot of people with different ranks. You have a lot of intrigue. But yeah, the Empire. You have people who are just like, devout soldiers who are just like by the book. You've got people with low morals. You've got traitors inside the Empire. One of the good guys, a rebel. He's kind of like a rebel leader. Like he's an organizer. He's trying to put things together, and like he's on the right side of things. But at the same time, he's got this like Machiavellian side where he'll fucking do anything. Like
You're talking about Stellan
Skarsgård, yeah,
He's
and
good in this.
he is fucking really good.
I love that scene in the latest episode where he has to like, that ship gets
he
him in the
monologues
tractor
that guy?
beam. Well, the like tractor beam sequence, and then he's got to fight.
Oh right, yeah, like he escapes like what I don't know what they call him, like the Imperial
Right.
ship. But yeah, that was a good scene. But yeah, he's really like him. Yeah.
So supposedly, like, there's been a lot of debate online, as always, with like Star Wars fans, where a lot of them are like, "This isn't Star Wars," like because there's no like lightsabers and there's no like, childlike wonder or something. And I'm like, okay, yeah, there's not those things, but it's most definitely like feels like it's in that universe. And like, I like the difference in tones. I like that you can watch this show and it's like kind of depressing and serious, and then if you want, you can flip on Mandalorian and you
Yeah.
get something a little more lighthearted.
Well, I mean, even if you go to like the first Star Wars movie, there's like two people have the Force. It's
Right.
not everybody has the Force. So this is a lot. You see some of the bureaucrats and the low level tactics and strategy, and it all feels like it's very smart.
Yeah, it feels more complex than some of the other Marvel stuff in a good way.
And they've thrown in a number of other stories too that were really good. They had a heist/suicide mission. They had a prison break.
Right.
Like they've had some really engaging stuff in there.
Yeah, I think there's been 11 episodes so far, and they've really like crammed a lot of like interesting stuff in those episodes, I feel.
Yeah, it definitely feels rich. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen much of Star Wars, but isn't it like galaxy wide? Their empire, like
Yeah.
They're trying to take the entire galaxy, yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
yeah. So I mean, there's got to be like a lot of different kinds of people and scenarios going on in this war.
Right.
Yeah, it can't just all be like Jedi's and this and that.
Exactly. That's why I find it kind of refreshing. Yeah, seeing a lightsaber fight can be fun, but like not everybody in the universe is a
Right.
Jedi, and like, there's a lot of just regular people
They use blasters.
that use blasters. Yeah.
And unlike stormtroopers, these bad guys can actually hit people.
That makes them dangerous.
And you wouldn't think it's interesting, but they also have like, people trying to make political moves inside the Empire, like that one woman.
Right, yeah, there's a politician who's making moves, and
Oh, that's right. There's also Mon Mothma.
yeah.
and you kind of get us like she played a small part in like some of the movies, but this is like kind of how she got to where she got, you know.
I liked in the heist part where it was going along, and I was like, "This plan is like, how is this going to work? It doesn't make sense." And then there was like a traitor on the inside, and it all came together. I was like, "Nice."
Yeah, that was smart too.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, it's really a well put together show.
Yeah, it feels like there's a lot of really well fleshed out characters.
Yeah. Now, I got a question for you because I listened to, I think Mark Maron, he did a podcast with Tony Gilroy, who's the guy who created this show. And he said the plan was to tell what happened in the 5 years leading up to the Rogue One movie.
Okay.
And like, he said, and so like, he said there was going to be like these time jumps, right? But he said when they started developing the show, like, they saw that this story they were telling, like, just this section was going to take up like a whole season.
Right.
And so he said, like, now the plan is to have one more season, just one more season that has time jumps that covers like the next like 4 years. Now, does that sound better to you, or would you like maybe an even longer like series that explored those years in more depth, seeing as how what's set up in this one?
It depends. If I would think they could go too fast, maybe, because he is developing, and it would be nice to see some of those. Like, you don't want to lose any of his arc in there.
That's what I was thinking. Like, time jumps can be
A little
tricky.
disorienting,
Yeah.
But I mean, if they're all like kind of one-offs of him in different times and places where something important's happening, I could see it working. But if you're trying to get like 4 of those in a season, that seems like a lot.
See, that's my thing is like in one season covering like a 4-year period, it seems like you would be losing some of the depth that you have in this show.
Yeah, you could probably flesh it out. If the other seasons were as good as this one, you could keep people in. How's the viewership on this one? Is
So supposedly, like, I don't know what the numbers are because who knows, but apparently not nearly as much as the other Star Wars shows.
right?
Which, again, I can understand because I can see like kids aren't going to like this show.
Yeah,
But-
you don't have kind of the flashiness.
Yeah, it's not a flashy show at all, but man, it's so good that it always disappoints me when a good show like doesn't do good numbers. You know what I mean?
But yeah, we'll see. I'm ready to stick with it. I like this. Well, I think Boba Fett's at the bottom. The Obi-Wan, I like this better than Obi-Wan,
Yeah, me too.
even though Obi-Wan did have some stuff I liked. But
And then, did you like this better overall than The Mandalorian?
I don't think so. I really like The Mandalorian.
It's tough. I think I might like this show better, but it does not have the fun factor of The Mandalorian.
It's a little bit apples and oranges,
It really is.
but I do really like
really
them both.
See, I almost feel like I want to see the Marvel show that's this tonally different than all the other Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Just break out and do something else.
It doesn't mean it has to be like super crazy grim or anything, but I would just like to see something that's so different in tone that you go, oh, wow, I didn't expect this.
Yeah, something that doesn't have to necessarily fit in.
Right.
I can see that happen. Like I have faith that Marvel is going to make like a very diverse universe, like that does have like its darkness and seriousness, and then its lighthearted She-Hulk, and like I think that's what they're trying to do. I do hope so.
What was that one we just watched? The Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'm glad they're doing like just some like, hour-long specials like that one and the Guardian special that's coming up, I think maybe like next week or so.
Yeah, the Werewolf that's probably my favorite one they've done in a while.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
I'm looking forward to Loki season 2 next year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm actually looking forward to this Quantumania movie. Like I'm curious to see it because I think they might have two Kangs in it. So I think we're gonna jump like pretty headfirst into this whole Kang situation.
I mean, I do want to see it, but like, it is an Ant-Man movie, and like the other Ant-Man movies to me have been kind of a mediocre section of the MCU. So like, fingers crossed. But I mean, at least we do get like to see Kang and he's going to play a big part going forward. So that's an interesting hook, I guess, of seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they know that Ant-Man is what it is. Like, people have this kind of like it's like a B or C tier in Marvel, right?
Right.
But that's why I think they put King in this movie because I think they're trying to like fix it up and make it jazzier and make it like more people interested in the character.
I think just because it is an Ant-Man movie, it will be a pretty lighthearted movie.
Yeah, likely will. Just because of Paul Rudd.
Right. But I still am looking forward to it. And then I think that Secret Invasion show is next year. I'm kind of looking forward to that as well.
Starring John Holmes.
That's no secret about that.
That's a callback.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some interesting stuff on the horizon entertainment-wise. So a lot to look forward to.